I think anyone that's grown up in tumultuous kind of setting, you either follow the steps and you mimic the behavior around you. So it's like a fire within them to like rebel and go and do the exact opposite.
Yep.
Thankfully, my brother and I, even my older sister, we all rebelled against that and did the complete opposite. Their whole line from a size 6 to a size 20. And there was this whole thing they did where it was me and then like a size 8 girl and we're wearing the same outfit. And it's like the first time a brand had done that. And it was, you know, the on-trend pieces of a bigger girl wearing them. And it was like everyone was losing their shit. And I was like being that first girl. Well, like I'm not even confident in myself. It's all in a protected little studio, you know, and then realizing that content is going out there and helping so many other women really gave me purpose to my job as a model.
Welcome back to Blonde Highlights. We are here with a very special guest. She is an international fashion model, a full-on queen. She is the inspiration. She is Yasmin Minovski. Did I get it right?
You did.
I got it right.
Good job. Hello, everyone.
I am so excited that you're here. I haven't seen her in 6 years?
It's been forever. I'm so excited to be here.
It has been like a full-on reunion. We are drinking some White Claw tonight. We're sponsored. I'm kidding. We're totally not sponsored.
No. Thank you, White Claw.
Yeah, thank you, White Claw. Yeah, so how are you? What's going on?
I'm good. Well, first of all, we're reunited back in LA.
I know.
We used to model together back in Sydney for a long time.
For a very long time. Where did we first meet? Was it?
I think it was on set somewhere, or someone was like, you know what, you would get along with this model, Kris.
Yes.
And I think we just...
Yeah, we met on set.
Yeah.
I think it was... Can I name drop?
Yeah.
I think it was City Chic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely met on City Chic.
Back in those days.
And then we just clicked, and then we would be hanging out. And then when I was in Sydney, you would come to my hotel and we'd have total slumber party vibes. We'd shoot random content around I don't even know, the Wyndham I was staying in, Sydney, some random hotel. But yeah, so how is life in LA?
It's been crazy. Honestly, it's so different from Sydney. I thought moving here I wouldn't get any culture shock or anything like that because I'd been here a few times before. And, you know, being in the industry, you're always in a new environment, meeting new people. So I felt pretty confident about moving here. And then I moved here and I was like, what the fuck? Oh, am I allowed to swear?
You can swear.
Okay.
No.
I was like, what the fuck?
What do you feel is the biggest difference?
I had major culture shock. I think I moved downtown LA.
Okay.
First of all. So
yep.
A lot of homeless people telling me how dangerous it is. You can't walk the streets. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And, you know, I left my whole life. I broke up with my ex after 8 years.
Okay. So you guys did break up. I wondered that. I didn't. Yeah. I assumed.
I left everything and started over here.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's a bold, badass move.
I needed to do it. You know, sometimes you just get too stagnant where you are. And you know how it is in Sydney with modeling, it's kind of a rinse and repeat. You're on this cycle and I'm like, I'm over it. I'm either going to retire or I'm going to try something new. And now I've been here for 18 months and I love it.
So are you going back and forth at all to Sydney or?
Yeah, I've been back about 6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
But honestly, I go back to do all my beauty treatments.
Okay.
Because it's so much cheaper.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, and I see my dog and that's the hardest part, being away from her. So I get really homesick and I'm very grateful that I'm able to just, you know, scoot back over for a bit. I work with some of my clients back in Australia, come back to LA.
Balances out. Yeah.
So yeah.
And you know what? The thing is the flight's not that bad from here. When you're flying all the time, it's really not. It is long, but it's 14 hours. But if you go at nighttime, it's not bad.
Yeah. And you just feel like you've woken up there. And I have it down to a T now. You take off, you have your first meal, have a little vodka soda, pop a little melatonin, a Xanax, whatever you want, anything.
Yeah, no.
And honestly, 8 hours later, I wake up, a little refresh, have another meal, and then you're there.
That's what I used to do. I used to have my wine, and then I would take the pills that are at the airport, the Sleep Easy ones.
Oh, the ones in America are crazy.
They're fucked.
Knock the fuck out.
Like, I would have my wine, my first meal, and I would pass out. And when I woke up, they would be like collecting breakfast.
They're serving breakfast.
Yeah. Or like collecting it. Like, I'd miss the meal.
It's the best. I love that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love hearing your accent. Guys, this is the first time we've had an overseas accent on today.
Really?
Yeah, this is the first today. We've had it today.
Watch Chris's Australian accent will come out throughout this episode. I can already hear little twangs.
I know. I feel like I'm like, yes, it's coming out. It's coming
Today.
out. Today. It's here.
It's here. And for audio listeners, I am here too.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Kyle.
Oh my God. We just had to catch up.
Kyle, jump in.
No, but we met on set too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think,
Yes.
yeah, like 2016 or something.
2016
on
we
a
met
photo
in
shoot.
set. Yes.
In
You-
Canada?
No,
Here.
No,
here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I moved here, it was like first when I first moved here.
Yeah.
We met on set and like the vibes were just like really sketchy, and her and I just kept showing each other like side eye, and at
I
the end,
love
we
that
were like
little
friends.
connection.
Yes, like when the vibe's not right. I think you and I have had those side eyes
Mhm.
sometimes. I wanted to ask you because I was thinking about it. Did we do a campaign where the client drove us? We stayed overnight in a hotel
Yes.
together.
Yeah.
Spent hours in hair and makeup.
That was us. Yes.
And then they canceled the shoot when they got there because they didn't like the location.
we tested lighting till about 2 p.m. And it got to a point, this client is so fucking anal and ridiculous. And me and Kris all day, side eye. First of all, I'm standing on a fucking ladder. Like, they're trying to they paid for this huge location mansion and they want just the sky in the background. And I'm like, why don't we just go out in the street?
Why don't we just do this in the field? Like, yes.
And it was this like really old school mansion probably like 3 hours away. And I remember I said to the creative director, she's like, they're trying to try all these different angles. And I just said, sometimes like I have no filter. I can't help it. I was like, it's giving Bold and the Beautiful. And then it was, you know what I'm talking about.
I know who it was.
She turns around and she's like, you know what? You're so fucking right. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
We're not even doing it.
She was telling me about this. I'm like, I have never been on a set like that.
Oh my God. I was like, I need to bring this up today. It's giving Bold and the Beautiful.
It was. So, because we were in gowns as well. And it was like those draped, curtains and all the, like the, those couches with the
yes.
pin things.
Yes.
Very vintage. And I was like, it's just giving like Bold and Beautiful. But I didn't even mean it intentionally, like in a bad way. I just felt like I was in a soap opera.
Canceled. Shoot is done.
Apparently that wasn't the vision.
And literally we got paid for the full campaign, and then we shot it, I think it was like in the studio after. They just canceled like the whole thing together.
Yeah.
So
and we drank all the red wine in the minibar the night before.
Yes, we did.
And we were sitting on the gutter in the car park having ciggies.
Yes. We smoked so many cigarettes together. I smoke like so many cigarettes with Kyle.
Yes.
Oh,
She's my other smoker.
This is what we did too. I remember sitting on a lot of stoops.
Yeah. Yes. Like
Yes.
we got down and dirty with the ciggies.
So model coded.
Yeah.
On
the gutter.
One of our last memories together before she had to go back to Canada was we went out that night and we came back and we're sitting on the steps in front of my building.
Is pre-pandemic.
Yes.
Canada,
But like the day before the pandemic started for lockdown. So she was sitting on my front steps and we were out there just like drinking, smoking. And this homeless guy gets up from a sofa that someone had set out and was basically like offered a threesome. And
yes.
Spicy.
we're like, no, thank you.
No thanks. And then they just
let me sleep on it.
Yeah. They popped up on the couch and then they just like laid back down. We're like, all right.
Oh my God.
So Kyle, since you haven't gotten any attention, do you want to start first with your highlight and low light?
Sure, I will start first.
Yeah, start.
I feel like you're setting me up right now. I feel like you're planning
though.
something.
I'm
You're
not.
scheming right now. Well, I think my highlight is tomorrow. I think you're going to see my comedy for the first time.
Yeah.
Besides that one time, last time you were here, I did go to a comedy show and I was just like, we were pulling up and I was like, I have no fucking clue what I'm going to talk about. I was like, we're just going to wing this right now.
I thought it was funny.
And that was like a weird space. But like, I think tomorrow you're going to see like, actually it's here, but I think you're going to see
a
better version.
Side.
Yes. With a more supportive crowd.
So you better deliver.
Yes.
Disappointed and judged.
But you know, our low light today is me and Kris had just a knockout drag out fight. And I had to like, you know, threaten to kick her out of my apartment.
For what?
Because listen, so we were talking about Australia, and I was like, I just really love wombats. And she's like, I thought you like koalas. And I was like, no, like wombats are like my favorite animal. And she threw a fit and she was like, I bought you a koala necklace.
I was like, I have a koala by your name, like in my phone. Your whole life you've been saying you love koalas, and now you're like wombat. And I was like, bitch, who? Like, since when? What type of animal did you call it? A
marsupial.
A marsupial.
Yes.
Say it?
Marsupial.
And then she was like, you don't have my photo from my contact on your phone. And she's like, I do.
Yeah. I was pissed.
It's getting kind of petty, guys.
No.
Going on.
We have these fake fights all the time. And I can hear my roommate in the next room. And I was like, get the fuck out! He was probably got quiet. And then we were like cracking up laughing.
It's good. Okay.
No, actually, I was just unprepared and I didn't have a highlight or low light. So I was just like, and I think Kris is about to set me up right now.
I'm not setting you up. I was going to say that my highlight is that finally, for like the first time ever, Kyle like actually did my hair, because I was like, oh my God, like Yasmin's coming in. She's coming straight off set. I was like, my hair's greasy as balls. I was like, I already had it in a messy bun, and I was like, do something with my hair. So we put it in these braids. I think they're cute.
I saw that you had a sickness band tying your hair up earlier.
Yes,
so this is great.
Yes, I did. I love that you picked up on that.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I had a motion sickness band in my hair, thanks to the kids. They left it in my purse, so I was like, perfect. Yeah, but she finally fucking stepped up and did my hair.
Yeah,
so,
like I've never done it before.
No, like
just those years.
No, I just had to pay for it, but like this was like free friendship hairdo.
But you do have a hair like on your cheek, and I've been meaning to just like pull it off.
I'm falling apart during the podcast. Like we filmed 2 episodes the other day, and I had like back-to-back episodes with like lipstick across my teeth.
Oh,
like
dear.
I'm a hot mess. So then my low light is that I was walking into the store, but I was like crossing the street, and like this jogger like came out of nowhere, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like he almost like pushed me off like into the road, and I was like, I'm tired of joggers just like not giving a fuck whether like we live or die. Like, has that happened to you where they're just like they don't care? Joggers, like people running. It's
I
like
don't be outside like that.
You're like, no.
I rate bike riders.
Same thing. It's the active crowd.
Especially in Australia. It's
Yes.
so active there, and everyone's like, bike riders just be getting nasty for no reason.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm like, I'm being polite. Here's, I'm waiting, chilling.
Yeah.
Just the aggression behind anyone that's in like that focus mode with like, I'm an athlete, okay?
Yeah, I'm an athlete. I'm better
like,
than
okay,
you.
bro.
Yeah.
Cool it.
We get it. You're fucking fit. Like,
oh my God, I thought you were about to set me up. With
No,
that.
I didn't.
You was like, oh, it's going to be about Kyle.
No.
Oh, I thought saw all the
scared.
signs. I saw all the signs. I was like trying to be defensive.
No.
No, just kidding. But this is, but you have to tell her about what happened this morning at the gas station. We said it on another episode today, but like, we got to talk about it.
Should we talk about it again?
Yeah, I think so. She needs to know.
Okay, so very quickly, we're at the gas station this morning. Okay, tell the story. About
Okay, I'm going to tell this time. Okay, so first of all, my car alarm's going off because I accidentally set it off. And then this
I love
guy
the chaos.
in like this, like one of the big Uber black like SUVs,
Mm-hmm.
he was out there and then he's like giving us the most dirty look ever. And we're like, oh my God, he's pissed. Then he's out there like, you know where they refill the gas tanks? He was smoking a cigarette right on top of it. And we're like, it's going to blow. It's going to blow. So we pulled out kind of fast. And this other car pulls out of the gas thing with the pump still attached to the car
Oh my
and
God.
ripped the gas pump out.
And then he's looking over at us just to be like, like you didn't see anything. We're like, we didn't see a damn thing. Yes, that's kind of
crazy
chaoticness we've been.
It was that kind of day.
LA, you see some crazy shit out here.
Yes. Do you have a highlight or low light?
Yes.
Okay, my low light today. The fuck. I go to bed last night at 9 p.m. Wholesome as fuck, right? In bed, tucked in, ready for a good night's sleep for my shoot today. My call time was at 7 a.m. So I had to be on set at 7 a.m. Set my alarm for 5:30, 5:45, 6 a.m. I wake up. My room is bright and there's construction noise going on. So it's like 8:30 a.m.
No.
I wake up.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, you know, when you like wake up and you're like, you remember like what you have to do that day.
Yes.
And I was just like, so I just like jump out of bed. I had all these missed calls because I sleep on D&D. Like,
yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore.
No, you can't
because
do
I can't
that. No.
Dude, my manager's calling me, makeup artist, like everyone. And I'm like, fuck.
What did you
fuck,
say?
fuck.
Did you give an excuse?
Well, I said I slept through my alarm. It was the truth.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, because it had already been an hour and a half, I'm like, have they sent hair and makeup home? Like, am I going to still be working today? Anyways, finally got my ass there. 49 minutes in traffic as well. So I didn't even get there till like, I think 10 o'clock.
Oh my God.
But I still killed it. I just smashed it out. Also, this glam takes 3 hours at Fashion Nova.
Stop it.
3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
I mean,
which is great, like that they allow that time to perfect everything.
Yes.
But, you know, I knew I had to like work my ass off today to make up for it. Bust it out because it was my bad.
Yeah.
So that was a low light.
Did you walk in with like a Starbucks and everything and like, hey
No,
guys,
no.
sorry.
No, I ordered Starbucks.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, that was a
that's
great start to the
low
day.
light. Yes.
But my highlight, just seeing you.
Thanks.
Having this,
I know.
like, getting to come in here and be on your show and seeing you again, like, we have tried to align so many times, like being in LA and
New York,
even
we tried.
yeah, New York. So, like, being here is definitely my highlight.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so excited. Okay, well, let's get into all of our questions. We have so much to talk about and unpack with you. We wanted to start off first with where are you from and what was growing up like for you?
So I grew up in Western Sydney,
Okay.
which is a very like blue collar area. I grew up in public housing.
Okay.
Had a bit of a rough childhood, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it was it was hard. There was times in my childhood when I was like, am I ever going to make it out of here? Like, you fantasizing about your future and stuff and like wondering how you're going to get there and knowing you want more for yourself, but just thinking, not having the support because, you know, I grew up with an alcoholic father and my mum was on drugs and stuff. So it was really a lot growing up, but knowing within myself that I wanted something more. Well, that got really deep really quick.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
No, we got to start there.
So it was, my childhood looked like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it would have been hard to imagine like having the tools or the essentials that you would even need to like get out for just like a regular career, let alone modeling. Like, when did you start to realize that you wanted more? Were you like a small child? Was it when you were a bit older?
I think always. I think anyone that's grown up in tumultuous kind of setting, you either follow the steps and you mimic the behavior around you, which is the easy way out, or sometimes people don't even have that thing within them. I don't know what it is. It's like a fire within them to like rebel and go and do the exact opposite.
Yep.
Thankfully, my brother and I, even my older sister, we all rebelled against that and did the complete opposite. So whatever we were being taught, we just knew that wasn't right and that's not what we wanted for ourselves. So we did the complete opposite and steered as far away as we could from that. And, you know, there were times where, especially like through my teen years, where, you know, it would have been so easy to fall, you know, into the trap of getting on drugs and drinking and going out and doing all that my friends used to do. But having seen where that brought my parents and how I was raised, I knew that that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew it wasn't that.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people in kind of situations like that, it can be hard to even know that a different life exists.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because some people don't even know that people live a different, you know,
Mhm.
and I understand. I came from a really small town with quite a crazy childhood. And I know that a lot of people, like, they just didn't even know any difference.
Some people don't know better.
Yeah.
A few of my friends were like that. Luckily, my mum's side of the family, even my dad's side as well, but I remember looking towards my mum's side of the family. They were all kind of put together, and they were a really good influence that I could look to and be like, okay, this is what a normal setup looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I had that sense of normality through them to know that was what life should be like, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate to that because my mom had me, she was 16, and that was like in the 80s. So it wasn't common at all.
Mhm.
And my dad actually struggled with addiction. He had a drug addiction, rehabs, in and out, whatever. So I kind of took the same path as you, where it was like, I can't go down that path. I can't go down the path of addiction. And I knew that I had to like sort of steer clear and kind of make sure that I was looking at other people for a positive influence.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there was almost that stigma on me that because I'm a child of like the OG teen mom and my dad's lifestyle, that it's like there was that stigma that like I'm not gonna go far, I'm not gonna achieve much. Do you feel like you had that growing up?
1000%. I still have it to this day.
Yeah.
Oh,
is it from like mostly people from your hometown?
People from my hometown, people in my family.
Okay.
That, you know, some people always looked down on me and my brother because of my parents.
Yeah.
Never expected much from my parents. Obviously, they were the two black sheep from their families that always needed all the help and everything. So, of course, my extended family looked at, you know, their spawn.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
oh God,
Yeah.
these are going to be the next generation of like assholes in the family.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, yeah. And then I guess as I started to become successful through modeling and all these things were happening, I've always like, first of all, they were like, oh, it's not going to last long. Modeling doesn't last long, you know, count your pennies while you have them kind of thing. And I, you know, there was never, and my whole childhood and everything, I've just always wanted their approval. And no matter what I did, you know, my grandparents would be like, oh, you're doing so well, but what have you got to show for it? You haven't bought a house. I buy a house. And then it's like, oh, why'd you buy a house there? You know, and now thankfully, like they've accepted, I guess, that, oh, she's doing really well. But there's never been that feeling of like them being proud of me, I guess.
Yeah.
As hard as it was to get where I am. And then you just got to realize sometimes, like, sometimes you're not going to get that. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You just need to be proud of yourself and keep people around you that are proud of you and do support you.
And how refreshing is that now that you're just like...
Once you accept it, it's the best thing. My parents are very supportive. I'm close with both of my parents.
Oh, that's good.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's good. I think there's such a pressure sometimes to like, especially if there's one set of lifestyle that's always been modeled in a family. Like you grow up, you get a house, you get married, you do this, you do whatever. And sometimes even just like stepping away from that just sets in a little bit of judgment or like exactly like you said, like, why would you buy the house there? Like you're not doing it exactly how some people like want to pave the way for themselves, or it's been in the family and it's like,
yeah, it's like, dude, I bought a house.
Yeah, like what more do you fucking want from me? Like,
Yeah.
You're like, have you seen me?
I
Like,
know,
I'm
like-
a model. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I know when I go home, my mom's, it's always the dad's family, first of all. That's like, it really is. But my mom's family, they're always like, you know, if you move back here, we'll pay to send you to nursing school and you can become a nurse and you can buy a house and you can do this and do that and do all of these things that you should be doing. And it's just like, no.
Yeah.
I am happy with all of this.
But it takes a lot though to like start accepting that like I don't need their approval. I'm gonna do what I want to do. This is what makes me happy. And like clearly you're killing it. How did you first start getting into modeling? Like how did you start taking these steps?
Oh, it was so out of the blue. I took myself through high school, university, and I started, like, I had a career in like venue management, and that's what I wanted to do. Like, had done all the hard work getting myself through school and was starting to build this career. And my sister and her husband have a photography business. So I was on set with them one day. I had no idea about photos and shit like that. I'm looking after my godson, my nephew, who's just a newborn. And I start chatting to the makeup artist, and she's like, you know, you should be a model. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's so sweet. And she's like, no, seriously.
Like,
and
model.
I was like, okay. And she's like, I'll set it up. I have contacts. I call her my model fairy godmother, because if it wasn't for her, it's like that whole butterfly effect thing, right? Like, if I hadn't gone to that shoot for my sister to help out, I wouldn't have met her. God only knows where I would have been today. Yeah, she set the whole thing up. We did like a little test shoot at my sister's house like a week later. She even followed up with me the next day.
Really?
And I was like, oh, she for real.
Okay, really? I have a chance at this.
I was like, okay. And, you know, back then, there was no real representation in the industry. It was like you had the OG curve models in Australia and worldwide. I think Ashley Graham was just starting to pop off at that point. But all the curve models were doing like Big W, Target, Kmart, like just really commercial. It was all the Miu Mius and Miu Mius, not Miu Miu. The peplum tops, like it was all the ugly shit, right?
Yeah.
So I had no idea there was an industry. I was so insecure in myself, as every girl was. I've always been a bigger girl growing up. So the whole thing was new to me. We didn't have TikTok back then. I didn't know any curve influencers. There's no presence. There was no world that I thought existed yet. So yeah, I ended up signing. She sent the photos off to Bella Management. Yeah. They signed me the next day.
Amazing.
And then 3 months later, I quit my full-time job because I was getting booked so much. And I kind of hit the ground running.
That's amazing.
And it was just good timing with this industry. Sometimes it is timing.
Yeah.
And I just started at a good time, and I just never looked back. I thought, I've always got my degree I can go back to, which I was super grateful for. Luckily, I didn't need to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I'm going to take this opportunity while it's here.
Yeah. And what were the people around you? Like, what did they say when you like started modeling professionally?
Oh, they were just like, oh, that's cool. It's like, you know, going to do like a glam, like, you know, those like glamour shot type shoots. Yeah, you know. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So I was like, okay, cool. I might make a couple $100. Yeah. Once a month or something.
Yeah. And then you saw your day rate for a job, and
when I got my first, it was City Chic. It's my first shoot. And I saw the hourly and I was like, you're fucking lying.
You're like, what is this?
Like, I would work a whole day for that before. Like, you know, it's crazy. And I never knew that amount of money. Not that it's like, this sounds really, I'm not trying to.
No.
It's the perspective of coming, you know, from one world to another, right? And you're like, I didn't know that this kind of money existed, that people were getting paid this much money for something, you know, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not anyone. And I was like, yo, I'm going to do this.
You're like, wait a second, there's something here. I'm going to tap in.
Yeah, we're going to lock in, guys. We're locking in.
And you have. And you know what? It's so cool because I remember meeting you on set of City Chic, and you were just starting, and you know what? You were so just like, you're really shy and just so like cute, and just like you and I remember us talking about it and talking about like you starting to post on like social media and stuff, and I just remember you were like, okay, well, I don't really know what to do. And now I look at you and I'm just like, you are not the same. Like, you have grown and flourished, but you are still like, as soon as you walked in the room, I was like, okay, good. Like, you're still just like good to your core, like sweet, down to earth. Like, no, like you can just.
It's been very important to me. It's like my number one thing that I always want to maintain is my gratitude, and being humble.
Yeah. No, and you have like,
yeah,
it's so cool, especially like how far you've come, and like seeing you just from like so shy, and then now just like, who the, like, I literally message her and I'm like, you're making me sick. Like, I'm like, you're so fucking hot. Like, well, not that you weren't hot before, but you have like a whole energy now. Like, it's, oh my God, I know. I'm always rooting for you. Like, when
thank
you,
you.
I'm gonna sound really creepy, but when you did your line with You and All, I remember I was ordering it and I got a message from them to say that it hasn't officially launched, and I had to wait a few days to get, like, to actually be able to place. And I was like tracking it, and I ordered 3 pieces, just so you know. Yes,
God,
of course. I was like, yes, bitch. Like, yes.
I love you. And it's crazy because, you know, you and, you know, Sophie Shepherd and Jess Vanderlyn, all those girls, you guys created, when I started, just such a warm, inviting, supportive community, like big sister vibes. And I had no idea what I was doing, and everyone was just so like helpful, and, you know, if you ever have any questions, like, you know, and it just was so supportive. And then as I kind of filled your guys' shoes as my career went on, I always maintained that same energy to other young models I met. I said, listen, we ain't going to do all that shit up here, okay? These are the house fucking rules. Like, we're supporting each other. We're keeping it, you know, there's no competitiveness. There's space for everyone. That's how I felt, and I really wanted to carry that on. So, you know.
I love that. You're doing a great job.
Sometimes on set, there is this thing about when you're really young. And I started very young working on freelance sets. And I was on a photo shoot, like, or a music video, like, I don't know, like 6 months ago or something. And there was one of the wardrobe stylists was very young. Like, she was like 19, 20 or something. And I did whatever. And I made a point to be like, we support you. You are freaking amazing. Like, and I was just like giving her the whole thing. I'm like, you know, you got it. Like, it doesn't matter your age. You know, I was like, I remember being that young, and then people being like, and like walking down the steps on set at lunch, and people like, how old are they 12 years old? like how do they even know how to do this?
It can be such a scary environment to walk into when you don't know what's expected of you, and you know, how to perform and how it all kind of works. So,
and some clients are just so damn picky.
Oh, I know.
We know why. Love her, but
some of us.
So what were some of the challenges that you faced early on in your career?
Oh, just major imposter syndrome.
Okay.
And
let's unpack that.
I had that right up until like recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an Australian thing also. We have major imposter syndrome and tall poppy syndrome. So we always kind of, you know, oh, we're not even that good. Like, we're very like, you know, we're not one to like talk about our successes openly. It's just, you know how it is there. It's a cultural thing.
Yes.
But when I went to move, so when I first started, as I said before, there was no, you know, world that I knew of. Like, there was no girls before me that were wearing stuff that I was. So let me give you context. So when I first started popping off, it was with Shopo.
Yes.
Shopo was one of the first brands to start their whole line from a size 6 to a size 20. And there was this whole thing they did where it was me and then like a size 8 girl, and we're wearing the same outfit. And it's like the first time a brand had done that. And it was, you know, the on-trend pieces of it, like, and a bigger girl wearing them. And it was like, everyone was losing their shit.
Yes.
And I was like being that first girl, well, at least for me in my world, I was the first girl wearing these things. I remember trying the stuff on off the rack, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking cute.
Aww.
Like, I've never been able to find something like this.
Yeah.
I've never seen clothes like this made for my size. And then to shoot them, and to me, it was just like a big like dress up day. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. It's like, you know, having all these, like a rack of custom clothes made for you, of stuff that you always wanted your whole entire life.
Yeah.
And then you realize like, oh, all that content's going somewhere, and it's, you know, all these eyes are seeing it. And I started getting like a big influx of women messaging me on Instagram being like, you've inspired me so much.
Aww.
You've shown me I can wear this. And that was like, I was like, hang on. Or comments like, I love how confident you are. You've inspired me to be confident and wear short skirts and show my arms and, you know, show a little skin in my stomach and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I'm not even confident in myself. It's all in a protected little studio, you know? And then realizing that content is going out there and helping so many other women really gave me purpose to my job as a model And I was like, okay, this is amazing. This is why I have to keep doing this.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like a huge obstacle for me to overcome and accept and be like, I wasn't actually confident. It was all kind of fake at the start, but it grew over time. And that was like the biggest thing I had to kind of realize, like, okay, even if you're not feeling it, you have to show up and put it on because you're helping so many other people.
Oh, that's really special. Sometimes you just got to be like, I am that bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like that bitch, but I am that bitch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And you know what? I can really relate because I know, like, when I see you, I'm just like, the way that you dress, the way that you carry yourself and everything on your page, I'm like, you are giving off such a genuine, confident energy where it's just like, no matter what size or anything that you're showing, you look confident. So it's just like, damn, yes, hold on a second, I can wear this, or I can show a little bit of my stomach. And like, you've actually inspired me sometimes when I'm like, okay, I don't know really what to wear for like this type of thing. And then I'm like, okay, what is she like? I'm like, what are the young kids doing? Like,
I love that.
So no, you're your biggest fan.
Oh
Yeah.
I love
you. So speaking of all of this, so I guess our next question was going to be some of the self-limiting beliefs that you had to unteach yourself. So would you say that there was anything else on top of the imposter syndrome, or?
Yeah, I think it's just the confidence overall. Also, I guess like growing up in such a different world, I guess finding that self like worth of taking up space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was one thing. I'm like, no, I deserve to be here. Like, I'm in this world now. And I've always felt like a real disconnect between, especially as I stepped from modeling into the influencer world.
Yeah.
A lot of girls, you know, they just grew up with a lot of money and it shows.
Yeah.
You know, and you're showing up because of like, you know, the modeling and stuff, but deep down at your core, you are who you are, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I've never thought I would be rubbing shoulders with these people. And again, it was the confidence thing. I used to like step back and be like, oh, I don't belong here.
Yeah. And I actually, that really touches me because when I moved to LA years ago, I got off the plane and I hit the ground running, and I wasn't realizing that I was as busy as I was. And I was very much like, I'm not deserving of this. Like, why are they booking me? How come I'm like, and it was very much, I didn't believe in myself that like I could be here. So it's like, you almost have to retrain, especially in an industry like this, where it is deemed like a glamorous lifestyle, or it's a cool job. You know what I mean? And it's like, you almost do have to teach yourself that it's okay. You do deserve this. And that's something that I struggled with for a really long time. And I was scared to take up space because I'm like, no one even's gonna, like, they're not even gonna like the space that I'm taking up. And now I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah,
I'm taking up the space. Like, move over. If you don't like it.
No.
You know, seriously.
Step out.
It is really hard. And I know coming into the freelance world, I got very lucky, very young, and I got thrown into a lot of things, but I didn't have an agent, and I didn't really need one at the time. And it was just like, I didn't have somebody to tell me, you need to be charging this, you need to be charging this, or doing this. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm this white trash kid from Appalachia. Like, no, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was like apologizing, and I burnt myself out because I wasn't charging enough money. And it was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can fall into that if you don't take charge and be like, I deserve to be here. But it's hard to see yourself in that kind of,
and know your self-worth. Like, know what you're worth.
Exactly.
Yeah. Totally.
So speaking of all your online work, like, you've built such a huge presence for yourself. What advice would you give someone who was just starting out?
With social media?
Yeah.
Oh, these days it's so different.
I know. It used to be so
like,
easy.
It was, dude, I'm struggling. I think it's just consistency and being authentic is always going to be number one. I mean, you have to be different. You have to show your personality. I'm actually guilty of that now because I feel like I'm in a transition where I'm reinventing myself. So I used to be so open. I would like get on my stories, hair in a bun, no makeup. Yeah, la 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 la. And now I'm like, ooh, I'm like single now. Like there's boys watching. So I'm in like I'm better now. But there was a period where I was just baddie. Like I ain't talking no more.
Yeah.
No.
Like you can look, but that's
Yeah,
it.
you can look,
like,
you can't touch, and you're not gonna hear me.
No.
But no, I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't me. I need to bring that personality back. I need to be speaking. I need to stay true to myself. And if it is in a different way, of course it is, because I'm in a new area. I'm single. Like it's a whole different me now, but I still want to make sure that those, fundamentals are there. And I think that's important for anyone starting, just to be true to yourself, find that little niche, find your little niche, whatever it is, and just trial things, and whatever's working, just keep doing that. And get on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, be consistent, be yourself.
Okay, wow, the 5.
Yes.
The 5.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I love that.
And it's easy to get in your head and not be consistent because you're like, you have those days and like you got to power through.
Oh, and don't overthink what you're posting. No one gives a fuck.
No.
You know what? I love that you said that. I love that you said that because I feel like I just don't care anymore, but I feel like last year I took some time off of a lot of things and I was like, I'm going to start this. And I had no clue what the hell I was doing. And I felt like I was starting from scratch because social media used to be so fucking easy. It would be like, I could post a picture and like, I would get like 5,000 followers overnight or whatever. And it's so hard now. And that to me just puts so much pressure on me. And then I just give up. And then I don't post for like 2 months. And then I'm like, okay, wait, no, I'm back and I'm going to try this. But the less that I think about it and the more I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Like I let my oldest do one of my voiceovers recently. And I was like, this is like one of the most watched videos that I have. And I was like, come on, kid, like you're working. Like we got work.
This is now a series. Okay.
Yes.
That's what's so great about TikTok too. When TikTok came in, because it was so just like be yourself.
Yeah.
Like just be authentic. Like authenticity is key on there. And that really changed everything for me, I guess.
And I also love that there's this new wave of like micro influencing where it's just everyday people. People love that. They don't want to see the glamorous like influencer famous people anymore. They want to see like Jenny from the block type shit, packing lunches. Yes. They want to see, there's this lady on TikTok, she does makeup and she works at like Walmart. Like I forget her name. Okay. Just the realness. Like, and so anyone can do it now. You just share your life and don't think, no one cares about what I'm doing. Actually, a lot of people do. Yeah. Like people like seeing the everyday relatable stuff. Even what I'm doing, I'm like, oh, so what? I'm in LA, but everyone loves seeing it. It's like whatever you're doing, someone is always going to love you and your life. So if you want to share it, and you don't even have to have a thing necessarily, just be yourself and be present about it.
Okay. And with being online so much, there's inevitably going to be hate comments and mean stuff. How do you deal with that?
I have to be so honest. I don't get much hate.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like,
I've been very lucky.
Get it?
Like, she wrote that, not me. I don't know.
I don't know if it's like a thing. As I said, like before, I was always quite vocal on my stories and stuff. And I don't know if people could see that it was in my personality to clap back.
Okay.
So people were kind of intimidated.
Okay.
I don't know if that's it, but I've been super grateful and super lucky that I haven't really copped any hate. If it is, it's some ugly man. Yeah. But
always.
like women have never really torn me down.
And that's what's important.
Which is amazing. There's been a few little things, but for the most part, it's been such a supportive community, and that's what keeps me doing it. And I see some girls like, copying all the hate, and I'm like, damn, if anyone even tried, I'm going to say something. Yeah. Like, because fuck that. Yeah. That's another thing. I feel like people should be clapping back at comments, because the fact that people think they can get away with it and there's no accountability, that's why people are writing such nasty shit all the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
If they know there's going to be a consequence and someone's going to say something back, like maybe people would shut their mouths a little more.
I agree. Honestly, I agree. The number one thing that I started to do And because I still get all like, like, you're a fucking whale, or like, blah, 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 no one wants you, or something on some of mine. And I always clap back, but I'll go really old school and I'll be like, well, that's not what your dad said last night.
Hey, I love that.
Yes. That's not what mommy said when she was leaving my room. And then they don't say anything else. See? It's just like, no, like, fuck off.
Right.
We have a little too much fun with the hate comments, though.
Oh,
I
some
love
of
that.
them.
Like,
Yeah.
sometimes we have a fun time.
I've seen this one page where it's like this girl goes on, I forget what it's called, and she will look at all the hate comments and then go to the guy's profile. And
yeah,
then it's
show
like
the photos.
Ugliest, yeah, it's like the ugliest guy.
See, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. Sorry.
Nah, no.
Don't even try me.
I did that with our podcast TikTok account one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did that. We were dying laughing. We're like, okay, Greg. Like,
Okay, Gregory.
What's something that people don't really realize about working in the space of influencing and being online, and because your page is like a business, or all your platforms?
I think like how much work it takes.
Yeah.
People always go, oh, you just take photos all day. I'm like, well, you sit at a fucking desk all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
talk to me when you
clap back I've heard, actually. Like,
yeah, like you sit on your ass all day. I'm doing 80 outfits a fucking day. Like,
yeah.
I'm so grateful for my job. Don't get me wrong, but it is hard work, and it takes a lot of creativity. It can be super lonely, and if you don't find like good friends that are also creators that get it, there can be like people that don't understand what you're going through. Like, so it can be very isolating. It can get lonely. It can be mentally draining. I've definitely had really bad mental spirals of, going through all those motions of like, I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't belong here. And, just all the thoughts, and you're on your own most of the time, like navigating it all solo. So I think, all of that. Yeah.
It's hard to be on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, behind the camera, you can just have a shitty day. But in front of the camera, you got to make it look, it has to be a great day every day.
Yeah.
When you're being filmed or photos.
Yeah, for sure.
So have you, especially like working in Australia and then coming here, have you noticed, so pretty, have you noticed a trend or like a shift in body inclusivity, or is there, like, do you notice a difference? How do you feel about that?
Not really. I always knew America was like kind of ahead of the game.
Okay.
With a lot of things. I think I've started modeling here at probably the biggest downfall of our whole industry. What we've built it up to be, there's been a huge decline.
Yes.
In representation. It was almost like it was just a trend for a minute.
Yeah, to get everybody off their backs. Like, look, you got the big girls, and then...
Yeah, and now, like, the heroin chic looks back, and, like, Forever 21 dropping plus, and, like, so many brands, taking a few steps back from what it was, because all of a sudden it's just not a trending thing anymore. So I've actually felt like it's been a struggle to get work here compared to back home. I feel like back home, I didn't actually realize when I moved here that I expected there to be the American version of, Show Perm, White Fox, and Princess Polly, Oh Polly, Baby Boo, all of that. No, they're just Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who the fuck am I going to work with?
Yeah. Like, wait a second, they're not here?
Yeah. And there is the representation is here. I actually think Australia is like still killing it more.
Okay. So
I think because a lot of it's more for me in what I do is more commercial kind of fashion. So a lot of the fast fashion kind of brands, they're all Australian, and I feel like they are being more inclusive, and that they've kept it consistent. They haven't, dropped sizing or, stopped doing certain styles and things like that. But then I don't really have much to compare it to here.
Yeah. I noticed that when I moved to Australia, I actually was really busy, and I think because it's so much, well, I'm sure now it's grown. I don't know what it's like now, but it was so much smaller in the modeling world that it was like I felt like I was working all the time, and
Mhm.
I was busy, and there was a lot of opportunity, and I was working more then than what I'm working now. And there are so many brands. And I actually had a real conversation with my agent recently, and she was like, they are now stepping back to, like you said, they want smaller sizes. And
Mhm.
now with certain things that are happening to up the prices of things coming in overseas, it's like, I just had another recent conversation. A lot of brands can't get their sizing as well. So that's kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
But I find that really interesting now that Australia is
They're still doing
it because they're so kind there. Like, they're like, okay, we're really sorry we didn't do it, but we'll keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel like there's been a big shift in yourself and like your body image, like your struggles and everything? Do you feel like you've kind of shifted out of that? Like,
yeah, definitely. I guess just showing up for myself and learning that confidence throughout my journey, starting from, the girls hyping me up and me showing up for them, turned into just being confident. I don't know how or where it happened, but it did. And then, I'm 34 years old. So I started modeling at 25. So I was already, had a good head on my shoulders. I, was kind of certain of who I was anyway. So it was easier to get to that.
Good.
I think being in your 30s is just like the best feeling. Like,
Right.
I'm so confident in who I am. I know what I want. It's like being a rich teenager.
Honestly.
Because you go back to like your teen mentality. I feel like in my late 20s, I was like, oh shit, I better wrap this up.
Yeah.
Like, I got to settle down. And then I turned 30 and I was like, for why?
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, you get like this second wind in your 30s. And I'm like going out. I'm like in the club. Like, I'm living life.
Yes. No, that's
and
amazing.
I'm just so confident. Like, when I meet guys, I have this new saying: you give me the ick, I'll give you the flick.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
Because I'm so certain of what you want, right? You're not even going to take chances. You're like, nah, that you're not for me. Just next.
I love that.
There really is such a new confidence that comes with 30.
Yeah.
And they used to say that all the time, and I would be like, I don't know about that, or I don't know. But it really is true.
No, there is. It's just being as sure of yourself. Do you feel, or what do you feel is the biggest difference or the thing that you've had to face the most with moving to the States?
Just work. Like, it was really slow at the start.
Okay.
There was some issues. My agent left. I got here after a year-long visa process. The agent that believed in me and that wanted to sign me and that I'd been having meetings with for a year prior to moving here, I arrived, walked into the agency. Oh, sorry, she's left.
No.
So I had to really build myself up. I said, okay, well, look, I can give up and go home. And that's just not me. I'm a fucking Capricorn. So, like, tell me I can't do something.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just started, like, reaching out to all these brands and got myself, like, jobs, even if it was gifting with social media, and tagged them and got on the radar. I was like, I need to get on the radar, reach out to PR companies, start going to events, meeting people. And then through meeting people, you meet a makeup artist, and that makeup artist is like, where did you come from? You should be working with this brand that I work with. And it was just all like a network.
Okay.
And I just made it happen. And I'm still not where I want to be, but I'm in a much more comfortable place where I'm like, okay, I'm working and being here. I wasn't putting too much pressure on myself to really kill it as a model. I'm here just for like a whole new reset in my life.
Okay.
To focus on social media, to start building like my own personal brand rather than the modeling side.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like a huge struggle at the start, but I had to stick it out. Like, people are in and out of LA all the time. So, I knew I had to show them that I was dedicated and I was here, like, for real. And now, that's finally starting to pay off. So,
but you know what though? I think this just kind of shows like how humble you are though too, because you coming in and with the presence that you have and with the background that you have, you were like, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. I'm gonna take the free things. I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna post. And a lot of people will be like, I'm not doing anything for free. Even if it's maybe like a stepping stone that could be good for them. They're like, no. So
oh yeah, it was a whole, I was like, okay, Yasmin, you just moved to a new country. You can't expect to run off the back of what you had going on in Australia. You've left everything there and now it's time to start from scratch. And that's what I had to remember what it was like starting back, you know, in 2015.
Yeah.
And be like, this is where we're starting again.
Yeah.
And now that I knew what I was doing, I was able to do that a lot easier. But yeah, it was such a struggle at the start.
Okay. No, I love that. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty.
Absolutely not. Give me a challenge. You don't grow while you're comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I was going to say. Sometimes like that agent leaving, it could have been like a blessing in disguise because it like really pushed you to like get in there, and it probably gave you more control over the stuff you're doing because you built a lot of the jobs in yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You were just like jack of all trades. Like, look at you go. I'm so excited for you. Before we close out, should we do cute or creepy?
Yes, let's do it.
What's this?
Okay. This is just a speed round of questions, and you can just be like cute or creepy.
Okay.
And they're very random. This is like not serious at all.
No, it's like it's.
Am I gonna get cancelled?
No.
No.
Okay. People pushing renting out their rooms while they go on vacation. Cute or creepy?
Cute or creepy? Creepy.
Creepy. Okay.
I don't know. Doesn't bother me.
I saw you post it yesterday, and I was like, I'm making this.
No one wants to rent your room for 17 days, Jared. Go to Europe, brother. Okay.
Wombats.
Cute.
Okay.
Vegemite.
Cute.
Okay.
AF.
Do you miss, can you, like,
I have stock loads of Vegemite and Tim Tams in my house.
oh my God. I love Vegemite. Like, anybody because you know how they have like those little packs? I used to bring them home and get people to try it, and they hated it. And I was like, I used to have Vegemite with chickpeas on toast.
Chickpeas?
Yes.
Girl, the fuck is that?
No, try it. Try it. I'm telling you. It is so good.
Right.
Iggy Azalea.
Cute.
Christmas in New York.
Cute.
Was that a goal of yours?
I've done it. I have family that live in New York. The last 2 Christmases I've spent in New York.
Yeah, I know. I crept your stuff. You told me about it.
I was like, wow, these are really relatable.
Yeah, you're like, wait a second.
You've been stalking me.
Yeah, listen.
Digitals.
Oh,
I know.
creepy.
6-inch heels.
Cute.
North Americans saying, "Nor."
No, fucking creepy. Please stop.
Robert Irwin.
Cute.
So
we love the Owens.
yeah.
Stingrays.
Cute. They are the little eyes.
They are cute. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you guys for having me.
Thank you.
And I will be sure to link all of your socials so all of our listeners can check you out. Like, be prepared, guys. And we will see you next week.
Hey, bye.
Bye.